Hello from Pucón, Chile, the southern part of the country. I am so excited to share with you the most profound information that I have gathered and accumulated my whole life. It will be life-changing and in many cases life-saving. It was for me. And I am doing it on YouTube because of the urgency to get it out there. Although this information isn't relatively new, in fact, the research on addiction and in particularly alcohol has been going on for about 55 years. Yet it has never been shared in the way that I am going to share it. And this is beyond alcohol and addiction. So if you or you know anyone that suffers from addiction or challenges with alcohol, this is definitely for you. This also brings in behavioral sciences. So anything that you are embarking on in your life or any changes that you want to make, the fundamental science behind it will also help you, as well as holistic living. I have been in the health and wellness industry for over 30 years. In fact, when I was 10 years old, I embarked upon my first conscious exercise regime. It was kind of a regime when I was younger. And I got my first gym membership at 13 because that was the age they allowed us to go in alone without adult supervision. I was the only female in high school in the weightlifting class. So my journey with exercise has began very young. I was an athlete. I ran track in grade school and cheered beginning in grade school up through at the collegiate level. And I am going to share with you my education, and I am a teacher. I am an international yoga teacher, an international presenter, and published researcher. And I'm sharing this with you and a little bit more just so you have some context of the information, that it is science-based, that I do have the not only life experience, which I will dive deep into, but clinical and education to bring this to you. I went to the University of Miami. I have a degree in sociology. And when I was in college, I started in 1991. Exercise physiology, even at the University of Miami, wasn't offered as an undergraduate. And I knew I wanted to get my education in exercise physiology. They had it as a graduate degree. Now, maybe against the grain at that time of my family, even friends, exercise, how do you get a degree in exercise? What are you going to do with that? My grandparents, whose number one mission for 6 grandchildren were to get an education. It was very important, especially for my grandfather. He was an extremely successful entrepreneur as well as inventor. So education, since I was very little, has always held great importance in my family. I didn't realize how powerful knowledge really is in all aspects of our life. So me getting an education in this, what this has to do with what we're talking about now is giving credibility to my experience and research on this topic. So anyway, they did not have exercise science as an undergrad degree. So I worked with the Dean of Arts and Sciences and got a double minor. So a major in sociology, a minor in exercise sports science, and exercise sports medicine. Because there weren't a lot of graduate classes in the field, I was allowed to take a lot of graduate level classes to make up my double minor. And then I went on to graduate studies in exercise physiology and nutrition. I also am an E-RYT 500, an experienced registered yoga teacher. I had my first business, which was Tour de Force, where I did consulting work for fitness facilities and hospitals. I was also the director of group fitness, not only at the University of Miami, but then after at the Naples Community Hospital in the early 90s. I have trained thousands of people, either in group or individually one-on-one, from professional athletes. My specialty in grad school was sports-specific training, to morbidly obese, to high top executives and professionals. And I am a published author, and I'm going to share with you the publications. You can fast forward through these just so you have an idea of what it is, the extensiveness of the publications and research I have done in fitness, as well as wellness, health, and holistic healing. So I was published in a book in 2000, and it was on sports specific of baseball, the specific test and data interpretation with emphasis on pitching. It was in the Isokinetic Performance Enhancement by the Human Kinetic Publishers. That was 2000. And then I have 10 published abstracts. The high-speed isokinetics, actually it's more than 10, I think it's 13, but I'm just gonna run them down for you. High-speed isokinetics, anthropometics, and pitching, which was published in the Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise in 1997. An analysis of high-speed isokinetics and pitching in medicine and sports, in science and sports and exercise in 1997. Moment of inertia and isokinetic measurements as indicators of dynamic stability in the elderly in medicine and science in sports and exercise, 1997. I am not going to go into detail of these. I again am giving you a list of these to develop credibility for you and, most importantly, your brain. Our brain wants to know. Our brain is an organ, and its job is to have us survive. And the more that our brain knows, the better apt and able or equipped we are to survive every day, our environment, and so on. I will get more into that. Okay, more publications. Muscle utilization patterns during specific yoga poses, published in Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise in 2013. Muscle utilization patterns vary by skill levels of the practitioners across specific yoga poses, published in Complementary Therapies in Medicine, 2014. Core muscle function during specific yoga poses, Complementary Therapies in Medicine, 2014. Comparative effect of power training and high-speed yoga on motor function in older patients. Archives of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation, 2016. You'll see where this is very important later in my life, actually as of late. Last year, I had traumatic brain surgery. I will get more into that. Differences in muscle activation patterns during high-speed versus standard speed yoga, published in Complementary Therapies in Medicine, 2017. Yoga breathing techniques have no impact on isokinetic and isoinertial power, published in National Strength and Conditioning Association, 2018. Yoga meditation and its effect on proprioception, and balance function in elders who have fallen, published in Complementary Therapies in Medicine 2018. Yoga meditation enhances proprioception and balance in individuals diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, perceptual and motor skills, 2020. There was also research that conducted on metabolic syndrome and women with yoga, with high-speed training and not high-speed training, yoga training. So why yoga? Well, my journey in health and wellness, because I did start teaching group fitness when I was 18 years old. And my first yoga experience, just because I was curious about it, really wasn't popular, was in 1996. And because I taught everything else fitness related under the sun. I taught spinning before it was known to be spinning. I taught box aerobics, which was actually a part of other research I was involved in with the University of Miami on a specific boxing program and group exercise developed by a professional boxer and my professor, Dr. Joseph Signorelli, and I was a teacher of that also for years after that and brought it to hospitals and fitness facilities. I taught aquatic aerobics. I taught aquatics for the Arthritic Foundation, on and on. Step aerobics, high-low impact aerobics, weight training classes, as well as I was a personal trainer. My first business in college when I was still in grad school was Tour de Force. And Tour de Force, again, I did consulting for hospitals and fitness facilities. I trained teachers that wanted to become group fitness exercise teachers. I also worked for ACE, American Council on Exercise, that gave classes for people that wanted to become personal trainers. So I was an educator. I've been an educator my whole life. When I began Yoga 96, I said to myself, I'm never going to teach this. I'm just going to do it for myself. Well, lo and behold, I owned multiple yoga studios for almost 15 years. So I have a background not only in exercise science, group fitness, yoga. A lot of yoga, which also meditation. I'm published in meditation, and also the benefits not only of health, fitness, but yoga, meditation, diet, nutrition. And I also have presented at Yoga Journal conferences, Omega, ECA World Fitness conferences. I was a presenter and yoga teacher on Oprah's Maiden Cruise for Weight Watchers. And I also taught and lectured at other Holistic at Sea cruises. I taught yoga for kids in the White House for the Easter egg roll. I also taught for Michelle Obama's initiative, Let's Move, to Michelle Obama and Jenna Bush, which was also aired on the Today Show. Okay, a little bit more, and then enough about that. There's numerous scientific presentations, as well as other presentations I've done on yoga, health, fitness, wellness around the world. So the scientific presentations, one was high-speed isokinetics, anthropometics, and pitching at the annual meeting of American College of Sports Medicine, 1997, an analysis of high-speed isokinetics and pitching, the annual meeting of American College Sports Medicine, 1997, moment of inertia and isokinetic measurements as indicators of dynamic stability in the elderly, the annual meeting of American College of Sports Medicine, 1997, muscle utilization patterns during specific yoga poses, the American College of Sports Medicine, the 60th annual meeting, and the 4th World Congress on Exercise Medicine in 2013. So these are all scientific presentations from the research that I have done that were also given. Okay, enough about that. So my journey in health and wellness has been extensive. It's been my education. It's been my passion.